A very good evening to my distinguished colleagues on the dais, signatories to the declaration, and participants and award winners. It's been 2 days of quite intensive discussions, frank discussions, very scholarly expositions, and interactions with the top scientists, policymakers of India in the field of scientific research and development. And both of them, Dr. Saraswat and Dr. Kalaisam, they are involved in the mission for the new fuels, essentially. That is and was the main focus of this meet. Hydrogen is the way forward. It's nothing that is very new. Way back in 1993, while doing some research on global warming, I had come across a publication of the World Energy Council which had mentioned hydrogen as the fuel of the future. But then it remained dormant all these years. And after the journeying and lobbying of various, I should say, interest groups, we are finally down to a hard reality, and that is climate change that we are experiencing. And hydrogen offers the solution. Now that too, as the declaration mentions, green hydrogen is the preferred one. Because if we have to ultimately go for hydrogen, why not go for what is the desired color of hydrogen or the type of hydrogen? We were blessed with the participation of quite a few hands-on researchers in the fuels part of the conference, and I had occasion to attend some sessions. And the twin issues of tackling atmospheric pollution, global warming, and affordability. These are two balances that have to be maintained for any fuel to be universally adopted. One size, as they say, sometimes doesn't fit all. One fuel will not fit everybody. One source of fuel will not fit anybody. And there is also a philosophy of one of our fellow signatories to the declaration that there is nothing that is actually waste. Waste is a lack of knowledge or technology to understand to what use it can be put. After all these commodities have come out of planet Earth, and they have to find some fix or use. So the future fuels, from whichever source they can come, they must come. And we cannot afford to accumulate waste. In fact, on more than one occasion I've said that waste is something that is a phenomenon that is very peculiar to urban settlements and large impersonal urban settlements. There is no waste in the rural areas because those traditional societies have always found use and end use for anything that we consider waste. And that is a comprehensive understanding of materials and the laws of nature. Urbanization, particularly of the civil variety, has introduced us to a very selfish use and throw philosophy and not continuing to use. Now this use and throw is most endemic in countries which are more affluent. And these are the ones that are making most noise about pollution. Even in a country like India, it is the large metros which are producing uncontrollable waste, or what we consider as waste, both urban and sometimes rural. This material plastic that we have put for packaging has choked a lot of water bodies, a lot of drainage. So when we say an economy is meant to be circular, I would say material use also has to be circular. This was, I think, at the core of some of the two events that if you think very closely and minutely. Whether we want hydrogen as a fuel which is not going to pollute the environment, a fuel that we so far not mastered universally, but we should, and at the same time alternative fuels, biofuels, which are not going to harm the environment. Because when we say sustainable development, sustainable living, and the very concept of sustainability, it embraces these concepts. We are thankful to all the participants for having come forth and given their views. Some have traveled very long distances. And after COVID, somehow mobility has become a little shy. There is the question of expense also. We have online conferences and online events, and the younger generation particularly finds it more worthwhile to be online. But I, as a man of some years, along with my colleagues, can assure you that there is no interaction that is better than actual human face-to-face interaction and exchange of ideas. It is that which is more convincing, which is more frank, and which is more participative. There have some very useful suggestions have come from some foreign participants on how to make the event more meaningful and more productive. Those suggestions, Dr. Govt tells me he's going to take on board. And there's also a suggestion that has come today is to try and put this meet or conference very close to some other similar event which is taking place in the country, so that those who are traveling do not have to travel twice. Similarly, people with like-minded interests would not like to be just sitting here and listening to lectures. They'd like to immediately forge alliances, exchange possibilities of interaction, or what you can say within quotes, matchmaking, in respect of their technologies, their marketing, and their applications. And I sincerely hope that Dr. Garg will plan in the future in such a way that these events are more productive, more interactive, and useful to the participants. Personally, I found the deliberations were extremely high quality, and the presentations were extremely practical by hands-on people in both the conferences. I wish the participants great success in their ventures and the future meets to be as productive, if not more productive, in the future. Thank you very much for being together with us. And bon voyage.